Now, let me tell you the truth. You are currently only inhabiting a state, but you are not the state. You're so much more than the state you're currently in. And most people, the problem why most people struggle is that they overlook this. They became so identified with their present version of themselves, with their present circumstances, that they mistaken them. They think, yep, that's who I am right now. But they overlook that they are not the circumstances. They overlook that they're not the state. They are free to select a new state, which will come with new circumstances. So in this video, I'm going to teach you that you are not your state. You are only currently identified with one state, and how you can shift into your desired state so that your desired circumstances can be manifested. Now let's dive right in, and that is what I prepared. So no matter what is currently happening in your life, those are the contents of your current state of consciousness, right? Your life is your consciousness outpictured. Your life are the unseen assumptions hardening into fact in the circumstances around you. People are messengers telling you who you are. Life is reflecting back your inner state. The learning we can take out of that is that it's not final, first of all, right? So what you see in front of you right now, those are the present contents things that you have alive inside of you. But let's just say in your relationship life, in your financial life, in your health circumstances, in your business journey, right? You feel a certain dissatisfaction with something right now. Okay, that is created from the past states you were in. Now you have understood by watching those videos and investigating Neville Goddard's teachings, the law of assumption, and manifestation in general, you've understood that through your inner world, you can express new circumstances, right? By being someone new, by being the version of you that has already achieved the goal that you right now desire, that will also be reflected on the outside. Okay, but that's the first point here, is that no matter what is currently happening in your life, those are the contents of your own consciousness, but who has control over that? Who has control over which things you keep alive inside of you? You. But if you overlook that power, if you overlook that by becoming too identified with your current state, by becoming too identified with your current circumstances, you will think, okay, now it's final. But if you trace yourself back and understand, wait, I'm in a state that is manifested. If I go in a new state, that new state will be manifested. So you can only see the contents of the state you're in. Those are good news, right? Because you're right now also, if you're also not in the state of illness or poverty, you're not seeing the contents and the circumstances that come with those states. You can see only the related experiences that come from the state that you have alive inside of you. But here is the key learning, is that you are not the state, right? You are the inhabitant, you're the occupant of a state. If you would be a state, then you would be bound for the rest of your life to experience that state. But since we have human imagination, right, since we have awareness, we can give our awareness to a new state, but we can only do that when we are self-aware. If you're not self-aware, if you lack self-awareness, you'll always be, in a sense, like trapped to your present expression, to your present circumstances. But if you gain self-awareness, you see, you gain this observant like attitude, and you observe, hey, that is what I believe about myself right now. Those are my assumptions. That is my current state. That is my current self-concept. Those are my circumstances. Oh, there is a connection there. That's the story I tell about myself. Let me tell a new story about myself, right? You can rewrite the script, but only if you understand that you are not the script. You are the writer of the script, okay? So you see the world, and the world sees you depending on your state. It's like a blueprint. Your self-concept, your identity, your inner state, it functions like a blueprint on how you operate in this world, how you act, but also how the world treats you, how people respond to you, the circumstances that you encounter, based on who you are within. And I'd like you to compare states to a room in a house, right? If you enter your kitchen, you see the contents of the kitchen. If you enter your bedroom, you see the contents of your bedroom. If you enter the living room, you see the contents of the living room. Same with states. If you enter the state of being happily partnered, you experience the contents that come with that, and the person will enter your life. And every room, every state that exists, the state where you're with that person, the state where you're in general happily partnered, the state where you are a successful, relaxed business owner who has always clients coming to him, or the person who's always healthy, right? So see it as rooms, and a new room comes with new experiences. But again, problem for most people, purpose of this video, is that most people lose themselves, get entangled, right? They forget themselves in their current room, and they think, okay, that's all there is, and I feel so stuck and limited. They're not being, oh, wait a second, that is what is. But what is does not determine what happens next. Who I am now does not need to be that I have to stay that version. No, I can also now give my attention to a desired version of myself, to the desired circumstances. Okay? So the key learning is that you can leave any undesired state and shift. You can leave any undesired state. You can leave your present state. You can shift out of your present circumstances, but you need to gain that power back. You need to understand again that you are the operant power, but that you are the one shifting. You are awareness. You are awareness being identified with states which are expressed in your world. If you're lost and entangled in the world and in the states, you'll seem stuck. If you understand, hey, I'm the one shifting, you can shift into a new state and leave the old one behind. So no state is actually bad. Never judge the states you're in. Because if you judge the states you're in, if you blame yourself for, why is this the case right now? Why am I like this? Why am I not manifesting my desires? Why is it like this for such and such long time? Why is there no movement? The only thing you do is confirm the present state. You react on what is, and therefore you pollute your inner world again with what is. And you look again at what is, and you form a state out of that. But the world functions in this way that your inner state is reflected. So you constantly look at the reflection and take your cue from that, and you just stay in a cycle. So at one point you need to leave the reflection as it is, and within be that new version, regardless of what right now is happening. That is what we're talking about right here. That is what the Upgrade Your Life community and program is all about. Right? That is what we nurture, that environment that reminds you of those principles, that gives you the right framework, that gives you the right support, that gives you the right community, and it also has a higher vision where we change the world so that more people, come across those teachings. So you are not your financial situation, you are not your relationship situation, you are not your health situation. And I want you to understand this. You are not your present circumstances. You're aware of them right now, but they're not final. They don't determine how your life looks like in a month or in a year. You're currently only identified. And I would say that's probably the biggest problem, like why people struggle. They're identified with what is. They're identified too much with their present state. And don't get me wrong, we want to identify ourselves with desired states, right? With the states that we want to manifest, with the reality we want to manifest. We need to first identify ourselves within before it can manifest. But if you become too identified, meaning if you forget that you are actually not that state, then you can also be limited by it. So never forget that you're free to shift your identity, you're free to shift your state. But if you're currently identified with a certain state, then those are expressed in your circumstances, right? That's the problem, the deep identification with something, right? But you are free to move into another state because you're the operant power. You are awareness. You are I am. What do you put after I am? That is what you are identified with. So if right now what you're identified with is something you dislike and you now get aware of that, then start to fill your inner garden, so to speak, with new seeds. Plant new seeds, right? Make new things alive inside of you. That is the shift from current self, current circumstances, into desired self, desired circumstances. That's the shift that my program focuses on. That's the only thing my program focuses on, and self-awareness and inner peace. So the current circumstances are not final, and this understanding will make you free, very free. So if you understand, you need to swallow the pill that you're the operant power. That can, in the beginning, maybe be an uncomfortable pill to swallow, but eventually it's very freeing. If you understand, hey, my current circumstances are not final, I'm the operant power, I can shift, you will feel very relieved, very free, very self-empowered, right? So no one has more power over you. There is no external entity that has more power over you, only if you, of course, let the circumstances and people around you, only if you give them power, so to speak, right? I am simply occupying a different state. So awaken to your awareness, awaken back to your power to shift, awaken to your power to identify yourself with the version of you that has achieved the goal. If you need help with that, like I said, a framework, my accountability, my coaching to you, and a community, right? A setup, an environment that nurtures all of that, then just click the second link in the video description, pinned comments. At least check out what I prepared, at least check out how it looks like, what you would get access to, and then you can make a decision if you want to join it or not. Right? You have all this stuff here on YouTube, but if you want to feel you're part of something, you're part of a community, this is really a connection. People make friendships there. They form something, they help each other. Right? I come in this community and I see on a very repeated basis, I see successes, updates, insights. People come back after some weeks of applying and they share with us what they achieved and what has happened. And if you surround yourself with that, it's very easy to also get into this flow and build your momentum for the new state. So that's why I recommend it personally, because I've seen over the years that I've built that community how powerful it has become. And why not join it if you resonate with that? Please only join if you resonate with that. And if you want to awaken to your awareness, if you want to free yourself from the present states and circumstances and shift consciously into the desired state. Right? So that's it for this video. See you in the next one. Bye, guys.